Today we are gonna make music with just one library, and this is our Solo Framedrums coming out next week. And before you go like, oh my god, just make a demo with a Solo Framedrum library, how much can you do? Just hang on, there's a lot that can be done with this library. It's pretty amazing how versatile it is and how much you can actually do with it once you get into the nitty-gritty of things. And let me just show you here to start with. So I've created like 9 different presets in the library that I'm going to be playing around with, and this is what it looks like. And there's a lot of things. Let me just share a little bit before we get into how the library is organized. So this is our new UI for our updates, and you have your core articulations over here, and then you have all the sub articulations over here. Then you have a step-based sequencer if you want to use that, and I'm going to use that here for this particular articulation here. And down here you got your ADSR, obviously. Here you got our front, we call them front-faced effects, meaning that you can actually control a variety of unique effects from the front page. You can also go here on the back page and to our chaos effects. But for the purpose of this demo here, and generally when you use the library, I really recommend using this thing here. It's just so useful. You don't have to click anywhere other than here on the front page. You don't have to go into sub menus, and everything's just laid out here. And you can, there's like 6 different types of effects. And the first one here is our response button. This means how it sort of reacts to the velocity of your playing style. You got filters here. You have pitch and micro pitch. We actually have 2 different, if you see there's 2 different circles here. This is like micro tuning, and this is coarse tuning for semitones. You can control your delay, crush it on here. And down here we got our transform, which is over 130 different new textural convolution impulses that actually sync to your host tempo as well. And then you got your EQ over here as well. But just to start with here, I took one of the small drums here, and then I created what's called, there's a palm sliding articulation, meaning that you can sort of make it sound like a shaker. And I'm gonna start with that, and I'm gonna use a step-based sequencer here to show how it works. So let me just put this guy over here. And again, you guys are welcome to post any comments, and I'll read them like every couple of minutes. And we'll take, oh, let me just show you one thing actually. So from last week, do you guys remember we talked about the sustain pedal? So the tape is still on. It almost lasted for a week, which is awesome. So my my foot is sort of, I'm sure, do you guys ever have that where you have to put your foot in and then you slide the pedal out? It's awful. So Patrick, just to reiterate, in this particular demonstration, we are taking a look at our new Solo Framedrums, and that's the library, and it's pretty versatile once we get into it. It's actually the deepest, at least to my understanding, it's the deepest collection of frame drums ever sampled. I think there's like over 3,000 samples just of Solo Framedrums. We also have an ensemble library, but for this particular demo here, we're just going to take a look at our Solo Framedrums. So let me start out here by creating, just to get things started here, I'm going to use the step sequencer, and then I'm going to make sort of a shaker sound. Let me just show you guys here. So you can see there's a particular pattern here. And if I wanted to do triplets, I could do it here. That didn't make any difference. Let me see if I can. So for example, you have time signature here. So if you click 8, or you go up to 16 notes, or you can go up to oh, maybe you can't. That's actually talk to good. So 4, half tempo, twice the tempo of that. And you can sculpt the velocities here as well. So let's say it goes ding, ding, ding in the beginning. Let's just say you want ding, ding. All right, cool. And then also another cool aspect about the library is that all the releases of the sounds are on the mod wheel. So I can actually open and close the release of the sound on the mod wheel. So for example, so that allows you to sort of sculpt more of the sound. So for example, right now with the shaker, so you can sort of open and close the sound. So even though we have velocities here, and you can, obviously this is a velocity-based step sequencer, you can sort of open up the sound. All right, so let's just do that. And I should also mention that the demo I'm creating here, the library is going to be released tomorrow, but this demo is going to be included with the library. So everything I'm doing, you will have at your fingertips. You can load in the MIDI sequence. I'm going to create a multi out of these presets as well, so you can try everything. All right, let's get started. Let me record this little shaking thing here. You can see I'm moving this in real time here. Alright, cool. Let me just take a look at the sequence here. That is an awful long string we got. Let's see, 4. This went way too far. Let's go back here. Alright, I'm just gonna move this guy over here so I can actually see what I'm doing for a second. Okay, so I'm fine having this stuff here on the grid. As you may know in the other videos, I've been talking about live on and off the grid in terms of quantization. This little shaker here is obviously designed to really just be totally statically on the grid. So we have our little shaker going on right now. And as you probably saw, I don't know if you can see here. Yeah, you can see I was moving the the release of the sound up and down so I can sculpt the sound here in terms of opening it up. And again, it's one of those things, and I've talked a lot about this, like when you compose, always move your faders around. If you look at mixers and people doing more advanced compositions, there's always going to be some kind of movement in terms of faders. Just creates more life. So in this case here, just opening and shutting that release of the sound, making it tighter and more open, really just helps. And then in this case with the shaker here, I'm obviously playing like way higher. Let me show you another sound here as well. So we got a little shaker. The library comes in 2 different ways. We both have our ensemble patches, or I shouldn't say ensemble, sorry. We have our master patches where all the different frame drums are laid out. There's a wealth of different frame drums, solo frame drums in the library. In this case here, I'm actually playing one of the larger frame drums, and I'm playing with, we actually recorded with different mallets. And in this particular articulation, I just hit the rim of the frame drum, and it had a very tonal sound to it. You can hear there's a delay, but there's also a different like texture underneath, and that's using our textural convolution delays down here. So let me try to pick another one here. So you can hear it actually, this one has sort of a tonal quality to it. Let me try another one here. So this one sounds a little harsh to me right now. Maybe not, let's see. Yeah, I think I'm gonna kill the attack a little bit on this one. So we have our ADSR here, and just to get rid of that nasty hit, I'm just gonna make it a little softer. I think it might have been better. To do that. So I'm adding like a tonal component, and again, this is all done with frame drums, solo frame drums. That was very sloppy. All right, so moving these guys to the grid, we'll get more off-grid stuff as well, but there's already some things there. All right, so let me show you another patch here. Also create another one, again in that melodic realm. Let's see here. So I think it's kind of cool when you can take a percussion instrument and you can make it melodic. So you can do a lot of different things in terms of trying to make the sounds not just be traditional drum sounds, but actually look for their more melodic qualities. So this is using our individual patch here. So I sort of go through them and try to figure out which one has like the best melodic quality. Seems pretty melodic to me. You can almost play chords with them. Almost sounds like an 808. Alright, let's try that. super fat bass. Hold on, let me actually try to redo this and see if I can make it a little more bassy. Let me just read if you guys got some comments. Again, in regards to, I don't think this library is not out yet. All right, so this library is going to be released tomorrow. It's actually a free update for everyone who already has the Solo Framedrums, the original library. We just did a variety of polishing and reprogramming and rescripting and re-editing of the samples and mastering as well. So for everyone who already has our Solo Framedrums, this is for free. And in this demo, again, in this video here, I'm only demonstrating our Solo Framedrum library coming out tomorrow. And just to show how much you can do, but let's get back to here in regards to the basses. I'm taking a frame drum and then I'm down tuning it to become a bass. Yeah, it sounds completely like an 808 here. Wow, okay. Oops. Let's get the signals back. It's kind of fun, you can almost isn't it cool? So again, these are just frame drums. Let me add some, this one is kind of cool. So if you take a super ball mallet and you drag it over the skin of the frame drum, you can sort of get this. So it almost sounds like to me sounds like kind of whales making their. We're underwater. Let me try this. Alright, yeah, let's go. I'm just gonna use it. Obviously, this is only in tune with the first bass note. Let me see. Yeah, Patrick, you're right. Next time I will write in the description. That's a good feature. And again, guys, Patrick, I appreciate what you're saying here. And again, make any, we obviously want to learn what we're doing here in terms of optimizing things. So if you guys have any suggestions for the next videos in terms of what we can do better, whether it's camera angles or descriptions or whatever it is, me talking slower, which will probably not happen. Whatever it is, just, let us know here. So, okay, cool. So we got a little bone drag in here. Let's see it. We're now underwater with the whales. But it's so cool. It happens when you have the skin and you slowly drag. The friction between the Super Bowl and the skin generates this awesome tonal sound. We actually have it in our Epic Framedrum library. We have like a massive collection of these. I call them whale sounds. And obviously I tuned this one down. The normal state is here. But the drum sort of becomes alive. This might go great for like a trap track. Let me show you another little trick here as well. So again, you have our step sequencer here, and because the library has both variety of velocities and round robin, it's fairly effective for sort of more natural kind of programming. And again, let me just show you, just take the camera up here and show you. So you can see here that I can pretty much, let's say we want to go ding, ding, ding to begin with. And the great thing is like, because everything is loaded into the library and built in, you know, we don't use any NKS. It's not like you got to do anything else. Everything's actually built into the library in terms of articulation. So main articulations here, sub articulations here. So let's say I want to try this on a different articulation, the step sequence we just did on here. Or if you want to do it more, you know, the tonal rims. Sounds like a timbales, and you can see, you can probably hear there's a variety of effects going on, and these are using here on our chaos effects page. So you can see there's a delay here, and it's actually a dual stereo delay. It took us a little time to figure out how to do that. So there's actually multiple delays put together, and a little bit of our transform down here as well. But just to show you that it's really easy to manipulate things, and because everything is loaded into RAM at the same time, it just makes it a lot easier to try out different things. So let's say, all right, I like the sequence here, but I want to try it on different drums to see if I can find the sequence that sort of works. So I'm essentially taking the step sequence and just trying on all the individual drums in the entire library without any load time. So on this one here, I have a filter associated to my controller. And again, if you ever want to sort of manipulate things more, you can just right click on anything in here and assign it to whatever CC you want. So let's say I want to control the bit crosser here. I essentially just right click and then I say learn media automation, and then I move whatever slide I want, and all of a sudden we are, that's kind of cool, more like hybrid. Let's try that, put it in here. So next up, here is another, and this is from our master group. So everything I've been showing you until now was using our individual articulations where you can sort of isolate each of the frame drums. And in this case here right now, I'm going to use our master brush. So I'm going to be using we have these master kits where all the drums are aligned together. And in this case, I'm going to take the biggest of the frame drums, our deep frame drum, and play it with brushes. We actually recorded with different type of mallets as well. So both with hams, playing the rims, using different type of mallets, and also brushes, so you can hear this has sort of a more brushy quality to it. Yeah, it's funny you guys are noticing with the sub and the camera. I don't know, maybe I should find some kind of rubber device that can absorb the thing. I could also try to put it somewhere different. It's because one of the loudspeakers is right here and the sub is underneath, so I hope the shaking is okay. We live in California anyway. We're prone to earthquakes, so it's just life. Brushes on top. So this is a good example. Doing little triplets like this, I would probably prefer to keep off the grids. so not quantized. And like for example, this was surely not played super tightly. I'll move things around a little bit here, but I won't keep them. I won't quantize them because they're just a natural. I mean, there's got to be some life in there as well. But there will be certain things when you look at the grid here. These two guys here, for example, didn't quite fall at the right time. I think they're supposed to fall more like here. But they could be a little early, they could be a little late, that's okay. Here as well. And you can almost, once you've done this enough, you sort of just learn to see it sometimes how you want to move them. You don't even have to listen. Let's try to listen and see if it's a little better now. Because they go like ding, 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 ding. But I kind of like to just jam around with the sound, so you're going to be seeing me doing this just to play around here. It's just going to read a couple of your comments. Let's see, what library is that? So again, we are demonstrating, and I should have written this in the description as well, we're only looking at our Solo Framedrum library today, so everything you're hearing is made with this one library here as well. And let me see, what library is it? What are you using for the controller? Controllers doesn't really matter. You know, I'm using a Kronos here, but you can use any kind of controller as long as you have a couple of faders. That's awesome. A lot of people use iPads for doing that. I have a problem with the iPad. For me, I need a little more tactile resistance. I think that works better for the controller. But again, yeah, this is our Solo Framedrum library. It's free for everyone who already owns it, and otherwise it's going to be released tomorrow at a fairly affordable price. This is the most deep sampled collection of frame drums ever, and as I'm demonstrating this demo here, you could do a lot. Like there are tonal components to them here. You can play them, you know, a lot more. Maybe not so much down. And it's awesome also because you have the velocity layers. Almost sounds like it's imbalanced to me. So that's the tonal aspect. So yeah, let's keep on adding a little bit here. Very high-pitched version here. This is using again our let me move it over here, our master patch. So I just took it in this case here and pitched it up 21 semitones. And again, like the awesome thing, I like to use pitching a lot because you can. Let me take this one. Sounds like a bongo played with brushes. We take it down an octave. Sort of sounds like some deeper kind of bongo, and this is his normal range. And when I say brushes, because this particular articulation is played with brushes. But again, the master patch here, this is our main patch. It has all the individual drums loaded in one patch here. I just like, and you can also of course do downtune it here. That's funny. That rattling sound is coming from my keyboard over here on the sub. Alright, let me tune it up again here and just try to go a little bit crazy on it. Let's see, right. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna add a little bit of tiny effects with this guy here. I love using flams as well for percussion. It really helps just generate more life. Let's just do that. And again, these guys I'm gonna keep off the grid as well. Let's just take a look. Yeah, they seem to fall further. Okay, a little early. But you hear how they generate more life when you have them in and you don't quantize them. You can see here they are a little bit slubby. Let me just take the phone in there so you can see them closer. So again, this is live off the grid. And if you quantize it, it will look more like this guy here, it'd be on the grid. So in regards to the reverb, let me see, I'm just reading your comments right now, just curious, couldn't see it. Where can we get one? All right, so this library again, it's gonna be released tomorrow. It's free for all the users. Mike, you're right, we should put a buy link in the description, and I'll work more on the description links for our videos next week. In regards to the reverb, that's actually a good question. Obviously I'm not using any effects on the other than what's built in the library, obviously. Some of them, if you go into our effects section here, you can see I actually do have a little bit of reverb in. This comes with the library. So there's a little bit of, we have studio, it's a convolution reverb, but we have a variety of different type of reverbs you can use here that are built in the library. So everything I'm showing right now, and it's actually a good question as well, it's coming from the library. There's no EQ, there's no processing, there's no mastering, there's no additional effects added. You're purely listening to the Framedrums in their core state. And I just created a couple of preset patches here. Some of them have a little tiny bit of reverb, some of them don't. Some of them have a little bit of delay, others don't. So all right, let's check it out now. Shaking with that bass. I just saw it on the phone here. Lord have mercy on you guys. I don't know, man. Maybe hold on. Let me put a piece of fabric underneath the phone to see if that can actually absorb some of the vibrations. You're going to be experimenting with it here. So, sorry. Okay, let's see if that helps. Okay, let me try to play the bass again. You guys are now on soft felt. Let's see, put it over here. No, that did not help. And they also muffled the microphone, so that's probably a bad idea. Bear with me with the shaking. I'll try to work on that shaking solution for next week. Okay, cool. Let's see here. Let's go back to where were we? Let's go up here. All right, cool. Let me copy paste this thing we did here. Let's do another round of it here. Okay. Solo a little bit here with this little melodic guy here. I think it's kind of cool. It's almost like we had like a massive array of timbales, even though these are frame drums, and you could sort of just play them in a steel drum kind of. And again, the cool thing about everything here, and this goes for all our new updates for our libraries, for our percussion and Epic series and Solo Framedrums and Solo Drum series, is that everything's loaded into RAM. So I can just sit here right now and just try the articulations. There's no load time, and I can choose any core instrument I want. Again, this is our instrument selector, and this is the sub articulations within that instrument group. absolutely do not quantize it. Just keep it exactly as, and you know, and this is not perfect by any stretch. I'm just doing this in real time, but I think it's important to really learn to, you know, samples are dead in their essence. They're little things that we are trying to Frankenstein back to life. And when you work with them, always keep that in mind, that you are the doctor of life, trying to infuse as much life as you can into the samples. And I think a lot of people tend, and developers for that matter as well, tend to forget that, you know, we're trying to recreate real instruments here. We're not trying to create anything fake, other than we can do things like this. You can play a melodic frame drum, but really always have that sort of life approach to it. So, you know, when we start out doing this, we started with having certain things here on the grid being totally quantized, and then we have, you know, other things off the grid. And combining those two together, it just generates a really, really beautiful amount of life in the composition. So live on the grid and live off the grid. Let me just try to, I'm just gonna let the composition play here, and then I'll try to see. It's pretty occupied right now, but there might be room for some cool things here and there. Let me just see if I can take this guy here. I'm gonna wait with the solo a little bit. Oops, deleted the wrong thing. So I just copy pasted the sequence twice. I'm gonna remove the solo here and just keep the bass notes to begin with. And then in the second part of the demo, I'll introduce the solo. But this gives me a little more room to explore a few more textures. Let's see if bass is still there. Die! Come on. No? Yes. Thank you. So I'm going to go up here in our master articulation right now, and I'll just let the composition roll. And again, I'm often inclined to do what I would call textual composition, where I'm essentially just looking for sounds while I'm doing them. So I'll let it roll right now, and then I'm just going to try different things here until I find something that sounds compelling to me. So let's start over here again. The composition is a little crowded right now, and one of the things I did not do was I didn't pan anything. So I'm going to pan the instruments completely a little bit randomly here, just a little bit left, a little bit right, and then I found this sound up here, sound like a little cowbell. So I'm going to use that, and I'm going to pan that as well, just to get a little more air in the composition. So you know, panning is beautiful. So this is a small frame drum, and I tuned this up 17 semitones because it just gives a little cool. And again, the way we've organized these patches is that you have traditional mallets down here, and then you have brushed mallets up here, so you can choose what mallet types you want. It's something we have for our aura percussion as well. I think it's insanely useful. I love using brushed articulations myself, so they just have a more there's something about the attack on brushes sometimes that works better for a lot of like cinematic stuff. So let me just try one time. a little more reverb to this one. Redo. Let me just see if you guys have written anything that the iPhone is shaking. It's skaying even. I love how this is intensely camera is shaking. Yeah, right. I mean, I'm just adding to the drama, right? You know, when you demonstrate samples, there's got to be something interesting about it instead of me talking. So the camera shake, I think it's just a part of it, right? This just gives you guys a little bit of drama. So yeah, man, I think this is the. I think what more can I possibly show? Again, this was the Solo Framedrum, and it's a massive collection of different types of frame drums here. You can see our buffalo, deep drum, large drum, small drum, all that stuff. We got the step sequence here that I used for our shaker. Maybe I should just to reiterate, if you guys have joined a little later on, let me just show very quickly what we actually did here in the demo, and then we'll wrap up this little party. So we started here with a shaker. And this shaker was created using our step sequencer here. And again, you can choose any articulation you want because everything is loaded at the same time. I just prefer the shaker here. It has some more like, it actually almost sounds like a shaker. And then we have this little, this guy here. Oh, hold on. Which is sort of melodic, just create a little bit of chord-based stuff in the background. And then we have the thing here. So I used both this this guy here. Let me just play it for you quickly. And I use it both for the basses. So and this sounds totally like an 808. The sub is going crazy. And you can also, you know, so it goes all the way down. All right. We also use this bone drag here. So this guy here, this is taking again a Super Bowl and dragging it over the skin. Has that whale sound. And you know, just a variety of other little articulations here. Again, this whole sequence that we've created here today, it's going to be included with the library, so you can see exactly what I did. We'll also be having a multi with the library, and you can essentially rebuild and redo everything I've been doing here. The size of library, I'm not exactly sure what the size is. You know, everything is using lossless compression, so it's probably not that big, like a couple of gigs maybe or something like that. It's over 3,000 samples. It contains a variety of different frame drums recorded completely dry, so any type of reverb or effects is actually just added here in the library, either using our front-faced effects or using our chaos effects down here as well. So yeah, if there's anything else you guys want to know, let me know. But otherwise, I think I think we reached the tail end of this little video. It's really great getting feedback from you guys. Anything that we can do to improve the videos, greatly appreciated. So I'll make sure that we work on the titles for our videos next week. And we'll also be adding this video here to the actual website, so people can, if you want to watch this video again. We've gotten some questions in regards to whether people can see the videos again or not, and everything is actually up on Facebook forever. We're also going to start putting the videos on the website. So Levi is asking, I just signed in wondering about the step sequencer and arpeggiator for the shakes. Let me just show you that again, how it works, Levi. We actually have it for all our new updates. We're using this particular UI. And the concept of this UI, and I'm really happy with it, is that it's all about it's about having the fewest clicks to a great experience. We don't want you to go in and have a million different options that you're never going to be using. We're essentially just, what is it really about? Well, it's about getting fast access to your articulation. So you select your drum here, and then you have all the sub articulations, and everything is loaded at the same time. All the drums are loaded, and as you can see here in the memory footprint, it's actually not that bad for having all the different frame drums and deep sample articulations. So in regards to the sequencer here, this is a step-based sequencer. If you look here, there's a button here. This indicates whether I want to use it or not. I have it on in this particular sequence here. And you can just, I'm just using it actually inside right now. So I'm just holding down a key and recording that. And it's playing the sequence here. And that's it. We actually don't have, we don't use any MIDI drop and all that. You just design it in here if you want. If you don't want to, you just want to play like multi-samples, you just unclick it and then you. But essentially, it's just a way of really quickly building a sequence you want. And obviously, because we have so many round robin and velocity layers in the library, this one is really flexible in terms of sculpting new rhythms and so forth. Agreed. What's the NI sequencer called? The NI sequencer. This is just our own step sequencer. It's not any NI particular related things. Let me see. Nice job. I could be seeing this being a great sales channel for you guys. You know, Mike, for us, it's really just about providing you guys as much information as possible for utilizing the libraries. I think we as developers hopefully have a little voice that we can help show you guys in terms of how to utilize the products. There are many ways you can do things. I have my own way. You know, I like, particularly when it comes to utilizing certain features here. I love playing around with tuning, which is why we have our dual pitch tuner down here. Oh, yeah, there's another feature actually I haven't showed you guys. Speaking of that. You can, if you want another groove up here and you're not really sure how you want to do it, you can actually click our randomizer down here. This is going to randomize the entire groove here. Let me just try to load an additional one so I don't ruin what I'm doing right now. So I'm loading an articulation here. You can see when I click the randomizer here. And the cool thing is actually it's based on what you've done. Let's say that you had a sequence that looked like this. When you randomize it, it's going to randomize a little bit. It's not going to totally randomize everything. It's actually going to try to keep a little bit of consistency in the randomization of that particular pattern. So if you look here, you can see there's still a reminiscence of the original thing we did here. But the more, of course, you start randomizing, the more awkward it gets. And you can also randomize our effects down here. This is kind of cool. Let me just try to load. So let's show this guy here. So this is just a drum playing right now, and I'm going to randomize the effects on it. So you can see it sounds a little bit different all of a sudden. Oh, that's a cool sound. Love that. All right, so you can absolutely, yeah, I could create a whole new demo based on this sound. Try to turn it down. Is that cool? And that was just with one click. So this is using our chaos effects. It's something I'm completely... And let's say, okay, so I'm getting a little tired of that distorted sound. You can actually just go in here on our chaos effects and I'm gonna remove this distorting thing. So we are just gonna have a more clean state. And you can hear, this is our textual convolutions was added here. That thing. So you can keep this one. It actually keeps on adding different type of convolutions. And the great thing about the transform here, these textual convolutions, that they're tempo synced to your DAW as well. So a lot of different things, and if you just want to go back to where you started, you just click this guy here. This is a reset thing, and you can also do that up here for our step sequence here. So it's all reset, so you can start doing your new sequence again. And again, if you want to play the sequence here, and if you want to randomize it, let me see it quickly here. We'll just randomize it. Psychologically speaking, that even if I randomize something totally, I'm just going to click on here, that once you play this pattern, let me show you, actually do this again. So we'll start from scratch, and then we'll just have randomized this brick here. And we'll click a couple times here, and we'll listen to this groove here. This is a complete randomized groove, but the brain picks up on patterns like nobody's business. Maybe I was wrong on that one. So it's funny when we talk about randomization, you know, we randomize, but the brain immediately picks up on patterns. So anyway, that's a little brain science, maybe going too far. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. Again, we'll see you next week with another surprise video. I think these things tend to work best when there's sort of a thematic approach to them. Today was about creating music with a singular library, and that's what we've done. And again, everything you've seen here is going to be uploaded to Facebook, and the entire demo and multis is going to be included with the libraries. So this was Solo Framedrums signing out. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. I hope to see you next week and the weeks after that.